What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're checking out the CNL adjustable rear camber arms fitting all 2008 to 2023 Dodge Challengers. Now, if you have lowered your Challenger, no matter how aggressive the drop is, these camber arms will be a great solution to improving your handling and fine-tuning your ride for whatever type of driving that you're doing, whether you want to even out your angles for street use and drag use, or fine-tune the degree for drifting and more road course cornering type of driving. Now, these will also be one of your most cost-effective choices to get your alignment back in check if you do want to save some cash, especially if you're stacking this with other suspension components. If you're not familiar with camber, it's the angle of which your wheel tilts and is measured in degrees. Now, positive camber is when your wheel tilts out at the top, and negative camber is the opposite and is something that you're probably a little bit more familiar with. It's when the top of the wheel tilts in and the bottom is sticking out. Now, when you lower your car, you're also changing all types of suspension angles, whether you want to or not. And on the topic of camber, you start to create some negative camber by lowering that center point. And depending on how much you lower your Challenger, it can affect your handling, rear end stability, and even your tire wear. While not all negative camber is bad, this set will allow you to adjust the length and fine-tune the degree to finesse your alignment and set your camber based off of your goals, whether you want a more negative tilt for cornering or drifting, or just get them back in a normal range for street driving or just straight drag runs. Now, these will be made of a tubular steel construction with a welded reinforced center section and a bright red powder coat. So these will be able to handle a lot of abuse, will be protected from rust over time, and will add a pop of red color even though you won't be able to fully see them. Now, the arms will also be incredibly convenient to adjust. They are double adjustable, so you can fine tune them while they're installed on the car, which will take all of the guesswork and hassle out of the install and adjustment, which can be time consuming. Now, these will also provide a good range of degrees from positive 3 degrees to negative 3 degrees of camber. And it may not sound like much, but a couple degrees will make a big difference. And the ends will also have tough rubber bushings and sleeves very similar to factory. These will bolt right into place for a fairly straightforward install. Now, these will come in at about $175, and for a pair of essential suspension components, I think that this is a no-brainer. Now, they will be one of the most affordable options in the category, but the kit does not sacrifice quality in the build and the ease of on-car adjustments. Now, other choices may be a little bit different in design, but I think if you just want an easy and inexpensive solution to fix the rear end camber after you've lowered your Challenger, then this is going to be a great pick. Like I mentioned, install is fairly straightforward, but I am still going to give it a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 2 hours with the right tools and setup. At this point though, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how you can get these onto your Challenger at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's get into the install.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, 18, 24, and a couple 27mm wrenches, an 18mm ratcheting wrench, and an 18mm swivel socket. So now to remove our rear camber arm, I'm going to start on the inner bolt in the back with an 18mm wrench and an 18mm ratcheting wrench to remove that bolt. Next, we can come to our outer bolt here and take an 18mm socket and an 18mm wrench to remove this one. Now we can go to the inner mount. We're going to push the bolt through and then pull it the rest of the way through on the other side. Remove our camber arm and do the same thing on the other side. So now with our factory camber arm removed, we're going to be using this to adjust our new one. I'm going to use the 2 bolts that came out of the holes. I'm going to stick one in one hole and line the other one up. And then we can tighten down our jam nuts for our adjustment on our new camber arm. This isn't going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough to get you to the alignment shop to get your alignment professionally done. So I'm going to line up our inner mount first. So we'll drop that bolt into the hole. And then we're going to be lining up this hole. So as it sits now, this bolt isn't lining up. So we're going to have to extend this out. Now our middle nut is fixed. So we're going to be doing our adjustment from there. I'm going to want the amount of threads here to roughly match over here. You don't want one side to be fully extended and one in. So I'll rotate the bottom out a little bit, and then the top as well. We still need to go a little bit more. And you're just gonna keep going back and forth, guess and check until this lines up. And then keeping the bolt in there, we can start to twist down our two jam nuts. Now the one close to the body of it is gonna go down towards the red. The one closer to the end is gonna go up against our middle adjustment nut. So now for this one, we're gonna use a 27mm wrench. And you're also gonna get a 27 to hold the adjustment nut. And then you'll tighten that down. And then for this one, you'll switch to a 24mm wrench, keeping the same 27 on the adjustment nut. Snug that up. And then you can do the same thing for the other arm, and we'll get these installed on the car. So now we can install our new camber arm. I'm gonna get this up underneath of our sway bar and into the back mount, and then I can slide my bolt through. And then with the bolt through, I'll get the nut on the other side. And I'm just gonna leave that loose for now. Next, we can reinstall our outer bolt. We're going from the front of the car to the rear. And then we'll thread on our nut. And now you're gonna wanna put a load on the suspension before you tighten this down, either with a pole jack if you're on a lift, or just a regular jack on the bottom of the knuckle if you're on the ground. And then you'll take an 18mm socket and wrench to tighten this down. Now we can tighten down our inner mount using an 18mm wrench and an 18mm ratcheting wrench. And now once you've done that on one side, you can repeat the same process on the other side.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the C&L adjustable rear camber arms fitting all 2008 to 2023 Dodge Challengers. And you can find these right here at AmericanMuscle.com.